Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
Is it really true? Is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Guys, everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 32 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 32 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. Yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this, guys. You know, we've all had the roughest few years of our lives, right? Not just here, all over the world, and we've lost too many people and a lot through addiction. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. Everyone out there needs to know someone is listening, so please, please reach out. If you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. Go to my website, www.geripetito.com. Please subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel, a lot of cool things. And now my book's on audio, but here's the thing, guys. It's on audio with my voice. So if anyone's interested in that, reach out to me about that as well, okay? So I want to give a shout out to a couple sponsors of mine, okay? So Michael Diamore, one of the greatest singers right under Elvis that's walked the earth. I'm not kidding you. Check him out, Michael Diamore. Go to his website, www.michaeldiamore.com. $1.99 to download his songs, okay? You won't be sorry. Now, Anthony Hudson, presidential candidate, 2024, People Before Politics. He's running as nonpartisan, and that's the only reason I got involved. All right, now I'm going to tell you something, guys. Not only did I get to meet this man, he lives in Michigan, he's a truck driver, he's in his 40s. We've got to get him noticed, okay? Because he's been to our studio several times, and the other producer here, Ruben Rodriguez, and we went to meet him at the borders in Yuma, Arizona this year. We hung out with the Border Patrol, the Sheriff Department, with everyone. So we got to see it firsthand, what's really going on. This guy's got to get noticed, okay? Anthony Hudson for president. So, guys, having said that, you know I always bring it, right? Well, honey, I'm bringing it again. I got this really cool cat with me, all right? So I want to introduce him. Geoff Carter.
Thank you.
Producer, please put his name back on the screen. Thank you. Geoff Carter, everybody. So say hello, Geoff.
Hello. How is everybody?
So, you know, this is really cool. So you're a DJ also, and we titled this Catching Up with Carter and Fam. Tell us about that.
Sure. Okay, so basically what happened was I went to school for radio broadcasting near Chicago in 2012, but I've always wanted to be in radio broadcasting. I just love listening to different radio DJs on WGN and other stations, Casey Kasem, many different people.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up, you know, and I was also blessed with classic rock and oldies with my mom, and my dad, so I love a lot of music. So anyway, I got into that, and I was lucky enough to have Catchin with Carter on a college internet station for rockfordcollegeradio.com from 2013 until 2015, but that station shut down because of a building remodel, but I had like 90 podcasts done there. Well, then when my mom had passed away in 2020 from COVID and COPD and a bunch of stuff. So when she passed away, my fiance was like, you should get back and doing something for yourself. And that's something your mom really loved. So I was like, okay. But this time I wanted to keep my name from before, but at the same time, I'm such a family person. I've had 3 kids since I've turned 39, and my first 3 ever, and I love them to pieces. They mean so much to me. They are just so much. So we decided to put it together, and we do some stuff on YouTube too, because we go on vacation, and we like to go to Airbnbs to stay a little bit more safe and more space, so we don't want to kill each other. So so we do some reviews on YouTube, but we're nothing big or anything like that yet. I wish.
So, Geoff, how old are you?
I'm 41 this year.
So, okay, my daughter's 42, and she knows the oldies from me. So,
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm only 62. I'll be 63, and I always say I was born too late because my music is Elvis, oldies, and doo-wop. I mean, of course, you can't take the rock out of the girl. I mean, Led Zeppelin, right? Genesis, all that amazing music. But I'm an oldies girl, too, and to see someone even younger like the music, that's so great.
I agree with that, and that's one thing I like about different games, like when Guitar Hero first came out and Rock Band, because I see these little kids at the mall, and they'd have different shirts, Led Zeppelin, like you said, or Leonard Skinner, whoever, and I'm like, you don't know who that is, but they're like, oh yeah, I play this song, and I'm like, that's really cool because that's reliving this music and keeping it alive. You know what I mean? Because there's so much good music comes from the 50s, well, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I love all that stuff. I love music, man, all day.
So, all right, tell us a little bit about who some of your favorites are.
As far as music goes?
Yes.
Oh gosh, man. Okay, so I'd say as far as a lot of the 50s and 60s, a lot of those groups were more of one-hit wonders, but, not as big names. So if I was going to go with people I listen to a lot, I really like a reggae band named Iration, but I also love I love Tom Petty. My dad was a huge Tom Petty fan, so I grew up on Tom Petty. But I love Foreigner, and I love Journey, and I love everything. I love any type of genre you can say it. I find something I like in it, and I love watching live music too. I watched a podcast of yours or a video of yours today, and you were talking with a singer. I can't remember his name. Zadman, I think his last name was. But
Zandman,
anyway,
Michael Zandman. Yes.
And you guys were talking about this festival that you're going to be at, or that he was going to open for, and I'm like, dang, that sounds so cool, because I would love to see some bands like that, some doo-wop.
So that was Let East, and we were there Labor Day weekend, and it's every year, and they're on their, I think it's their 43rd year, 42nd. Next year will be, I think, their 42nd or 43rd year. Amazing. And I got to MC for him and Michael D'Amore, the guy I just mentioned, and amazing, and they're both incredible singers.
Yeah, and really nice people, it seems like, too, from watching their mannerisms. They seem like good people, just like John. I love John.
Okay, so John Terlizzi, let's give him a big shout out.
Yeah, man, I love John.
John's my favorite stalker on Facebook.
Yeah, he gets on it. He's asked me if I've talked to you like a few times. I'm like, man, my busy self, I need to get a hold of it.
So, all right, so now let me ask you something. You mentioned Foreigner. My very, again, I'm 62, right? My very first concert that I went to with all my friends, I had to be 16 years old because we had someone who drove us. And someone reminded me about this concert. My friend who I went with, her younger brother. We were cracking up. It was Foreigner and Foghat. It was my very first concert.
Cool.
So it was so cool.
Foghat, too?
So
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Like I said, I'm an oldies girl, Elvis, right, and all that, but you can't take that music out of me. Genesis is incredible. I saw them again, years ago, but recently for when they were touring again back then. I mean, it's amazing music, right?
Absolutely.
Do you have any favorite songs?
As far as back in the 50s and 60s?
Whatever. Whatever.
Oh, man. Okay. So if I were to name some that always give me to sing along, I would say Hey Jude, I always sing along to. Yeah. Free Bird. Free Bird is one of those songs that the guitar riff starts, and I'm like, tell everybody in the car, just don't talk. We're turning the music up. So, because I love it. I could do that. I love that. And then Sweet Child of Mine is one of those songs that every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh man, so good. There's a lot of. I
Yeah,
love music.
I love those songs. Hey Jude, come on, one of the greatest songs ever written in song. Give
Yeah,
me a break.
yeah.
What about Elvis? What do you think Elvis? Come on.
Oh, I love some Elvis. I love some Elvis. I really do. My fiance's grandma is loves Elvis, and there was an Elvis impersonator coming in December for a fundraiser not far from us, and she wants to come to it. So she loves some Elvis. We got her some Elvis something last year, a painting or drawing we got from an antique store.
Do you know who the ETA is, the Elvis tribute artist that's going to be coming?
No, I don't. I don't know, but I can find that answer and get it to you.
Okay, please do, because I know most of them. I've interviewed most of them.
Well, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where he's coming from.
Okay, and what state are you in?
Illinois.
All right, let me know. I'm interested.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I love some Elvis. I like anything from back then, to be honest. I really do.
So now you're younger, and I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think of rap and hip hop?
Well, that's the thing. I listen to some of that too. I find talent in a little bit of everything, I suppose. I can tolerate it. Is there a lot that I don't like? Yes.
Okay.
But I do listen to some too.
So Geoff, I'm going to tell you something. So
Sure.
back maybe like 2016, I think it was, someone on Facebook, a young black man from Trenton, New Jersey, close to me here, hip hop artist, was just starting out. His name was Randy Shank. He reached out to me and he said, Miss Geri, I'm a hip hop artist. I'd like to get some exposure. Do you think I could be interviewed? I said, young man, can you keep it clean? He said, absolutely. They came live in our older studio, him and a few friends, hip hop artists. They were amazing. They not only kept it clean, they were so respectful. This young man, and I'm going to tell you what he told me, but this young man he's down south, he's got a family, he does his music, he does photography, he's amazing. Okay, and he goes by Six Director. So if you ever look up Six Director, that's Randy Shank. He's doing amazing. And he came live into studio and surprised me one day when he came back into town to visit family. And he'll message me and he'll say, Miss Geri, I'm trying to keep it clean for you. That young man owns a piece of my heart, so I'm going to tell you what he said to me live on air. I said, why does a lot of it have to be so, degrading and violent and cursing and all that? And this is what he said to me. He said, Miss Geri, everyone has a story to tell that needs to be told. He said, and unfortunately for some of us, that's the only story we know.
That is true.
And
That is for some people, yes.
Yeah, he owns a piece of my heart. So he made me understand it. I don't listen to it, but he made me understand it.
Well, I mean, and I do see that. I was thinking that when you first asked me too. That was one of my interests in my head. But also the thing is I listen to plenty of artists that don't swear, that just have a really good way to talk about things. Some do. I really like Lil Wayne is one guy that I used to love, and it's just every other word's the N word or the F word, and I'm like, man, I can't play this in my car with my kids. You know what I mean? My daughter's repeating everything, so we can't do that. But we really like this Christian guy, NF. He's completely clean.
Yes, I love him. I'm a Christian.
So good. He's so good.
Yes.
He's very good. Okay, and we relate to it. He helped me get through a breakup really bad.
So you know him personally?
No, but
if you hook up with him, send him my way, baby. I want to interview him too.
I would love to. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
I have a little more pull than I do, but hey, I would love to.
Do me a favor, just to remind me. Send me a text later and just say, and put his name and say, let's get an interview. Then it'll remind me, and I'll make a phone call. Okay? We're gonna see if we can do this.
That's one of my stepson's biggest. My stepson Jackson's 10, and he's been through a lot, and he loves NF. So if I could get him to have a video with him,
we're gonna try and do this for you, okay?
Yeah,
so now,
that would be.
So Geoff, what do you want to talk about with everybody listening?
Oh, we could talk about anything. I'm down. Okay. I'm an open
book.
All
right. So now you love doing radio. You love all this stuff. This is so cool, right? Where do you see yourself in 5 years with it?
That's a really good question. I started back doing this as like a hobby at first. So I interviewed some of my friends, and then I started getting requests to do podcasts, like other people, like, well, you want to talk with me? So then I started getting some movie people and then music people, and kind of decently big, I guess, from different TV shows. So I started to just keep doing it, and now I don't know. I kind of wonder if I can use my radio broadcasting certificate for something, because I spent 14 grand. The VA didn't cover it. And I got my thing. I drove into Chicago 3 days a week, and then I had to drive to another internship. And I never used my radio broadcasting at all to really make me an income at all. And now I don't know if I have the capability to get a hold of mainstream people and people are interested in my show. I'd like to be a decent sized podcaster, but I don't know. I haven't been getting a whole lot of listens. I'm okay, I guess, but I'd like to keep it going. I'd love to find some sponsors, and I also kind of want to get into voiceovers. I love to talk, and I just don't know how to get into that field.
So when you say voiceovers, elaborate.
Well, I mean anything. I would do I would do any type of voiceover work possible. I think, I don't know. I do anime or anything.
So let's hear something.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what I would say. I don't know. I just.
But wait, make me understand. I'm sorry. When you say voiceovers, that means you speak in a different character?
Or just be a character that just has a normal voice. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could do that or not. Or commercial work,
Okay,
I'd like
okay.
to be able to get into something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't have any cool voices, I don't think. I don't really. No. I wish I did. That'd be neat.
So, okay. So what else? What do you do as a day job?
As a day job, I work for a company. I don't want to say, but I work for a company that deals with agriculture and crops, mainly with soybeans and corn as their primary. But they also deal with a lot of other things, sunflowers, any type of vegetable, wheat. They do a lot of things like that. But I work specifically in the entomology department, dealing with insects, like 5 different types of insects that become moths. And it is such a cool job. I've been working with them since May, and I just really love the job. It's so cool.
So I have some questions then. So
Sure.
You don't know who you're talking to really, because you don't really know me very well, but I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a vegan. Everything in my life is organic. I cured myself of 2 cancers way back in the day through fasting, and now I teach it. Okay, so everything in my life, including my beds, mattress, all my products, everything is all organic and natural. Okay, so
That is awesome.
as far as soy and corn, it's not organic, is it?
No, I wish it was.
All right.
That is
Don't
one
eat
thing.
it.
No, that's I don't. But that's one thing that my fiance and I both believe in, is trying to remove all dyes from our kids, because we removed red dye from our little kids, and oh my gosh, it's like a polar opposite. You know what I mean?
I'm so happy to hear that.
But we are working on, and it stinks because we only have one store we have 2. We have an Aldi and a Walmart, but they get majorly picked over, and of course the only things that are left are high processed stuff. So we are a victim, or we're guilty for buying.
Yeah, but you can order online.
That's true. That is true.
all right. So anyway, I want to share something with you real quick.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Corn and soy are the 2 biggest things in this industry, not organic, that they're feeding to the cows, and it's killing the cows too. It's terrible. But off of that track, let's talk about the cool part of your job, the insect part. So tell me a little more about that.
Okay, so I started at a really cool time, because I work at a building that is a brand new research facility. So it's brand new, and I've seen it from scratch, moving in containers and cages and all that stuff. And it contains 10 insectaries, or 10 rooms. We got cold rooms for certain things and hotter rooms for certain things. And then we have different stages of each insect. The main things we deal with are corn rootworm, corn earworm, the Eastern European corn borer, and there's one more. I have to think for a second, but there's one more. And it depends. Like, each one has different cycles of their life cycle, obviously. So you start them at different points. But because we live in the Midwest and it gets cold and things die and we want to keep things going, then we have to keep the colonies going. But they have a lifespan of a certain amount of time and then they die. So we have to collect their eggs daily, prepare food daily, and change egg sheets daily and stuff like that. And I think it's super cool.
So wait, are you saying, this is what I'm hearing, I could be wrong. Are you saying that you guys keep the insects alive so the crops could stay alive?
No.
Okay.
We keep the insects alive so that way we have them ready for when we have to infest them. Because we infest around early summer, like May, June, July. Depends. We do different cycles. But what we do is we go out with the babies and we go out to fields that we have rented that are marked that we're testing. And then we have the crop. It's a certain amount of corn that we deal with. I deal with corn. I don't deal with soy.
But what are you in? What's? I'm so confused. What's their purpose?
Well, what they're doing is they try new corn seeds to see which ones are resilient against insects. Because
Gotcha.
they alter the genetics in order for it to stop an insect, and then then it stops the crop or the insect.
Now I get what you're talking.
Right.
I did not have a clue.
Modified.
That's cool.
It's genetic. Well, we believe in non-genetically modified
non-GMO, baby, 1,000%.
We really do. I swear, if we were walking around in my house with a video, I'll tell you.
Good.
Yeah, we try to all the way. We know it's a big difference. We got to go 1,000%. We were ordering from Thrive Market, which is a lot of organic stuff.
That's so cool to hear you say that. All right. So now, what was did you go to college?
I did a little bit. What I did was I got out of high school and I joined the Navy and went away to San Diego.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Thank you. They just decommissioned my ship in September, like the second week of September, the Lake Champlain. I got out of that and then I came home for family, and then not that I had one yet, but as far as my grandparents and stuff, I took care of 3 of my grandparents, and then I also worked in a warehouse that ended up closing. So then I went, moved around different jobs and stuff, and then I finally, my brother, I was actually on a drug, and my brother told me that I was hanging with the wrong people, and he said, I live with you, but I'm watching your life go down the hill, because I was hanging out with these really bad gangbangers at one point in my life. Okay. And I was doing coke for a while, and that was, excuse me, but that's just being truthful. And it was 6 months. That was a short but very crazy period. It happened like real fast. And I went completely sober. I was on it that night, actually, and my brother told me I felt suicidal too that night. But my brother talked to me. He said, you need to go back. You need to think about the radio thing. You've always wanted to talk. You love to talk too much, and you should do it. You should think about that, Geoff. You're wasting your life trying to be something you're not. So you need to get out of that. And that next day, after I sobered up, I went with my friend and went to Illinois Media School. Now it's called. Then it was Illinois Radio and Broadcast, or Television, Radio and Broadcast School. Anyway, so. So I went to that while working part-time, but then after that, I did it like externing at that college station for 2 years. As a security guard, I was working there full-time too. But then I left there to get paid more running an Italian restaurant, because the radio station also closed down for that building remodel. So I was like, well, I guess this wasn't it for me right now, So I ran a restaurant for 4 years. And then my mom passed, so then I took a little bit of time off. It was really hard for me. It was out of nowhere that she caught it, and she hadn't even met her grandkids yet, and she would have been a huge part, and it was very hard for me. So I took some time off, and then I started doing like little dumb jobs, and then I finally got into this one. So I took like a year and a half off of work mainly, and just because I had my first child and then my second child, and dealing with my mom all at the same time, because I had my daughter, my first kid ever, 2 days before my mom died, and it was rough.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I understand. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
So you said something that hit home. You said you like to talk a lot, and so everybody said to me, when did you get into doing radio? And Doc G, who's the owner of Hamilton Radio, the original owner, he's actually running the show tonight.
I spoke to him.
Yeah.
Nice.
In 2016, when my book came out, he reached out to me and said, let's interview you. And his daughter, DJ Danny, she interviewed me, and he said, listen, you have a great radio voice. Why don't you come along? And I had to think about it a while, and I was like, I don't know. And then it hit me, and I cracked up laughing, Geoff. I said, I was in trouble every day of my life, every single report card. They would have to put me out in the hallways because I couldn't shut up. I was a good kid, but I couldn't shut up. And I said, what am I crazy? I got to do this. So, it just resonated with me when you said that. So now let me ask you something.
Sure.
Tell me about some of your shows you've already done, what they consisted of.
Oh, sure. So I guess my thing is I love to learn from people, anything. If it's an interesting topic, if I read it, it doesn't stick as well with me. So I do better face-to-face or hands-on. Like Century stuff, I learn it, bam. But so I started interviewing people, and it was just like musicians I like the band from Chicago, their rap group, Do or Die. I interviewed the general manager of GW Zoo that was featured on Netflix for Tiger King. He's the first guy on the video, and then he was a big part of that. He still is. Yeah. But I interviewed him, and I've interviewed Elaine Ballas. I've interviewed...
Wait, you interviewed Elaine Ballas?
I did. She's a nice lady.
Excuse me. Please hook me up.
Oh, I will. She's a sweetheart.
I'm saying this live on air on the Geri Petito Show. This guy, Geoff, just said he will. You guys hear that? So he will. I'm holding him to it.
Man, my word. I'm a Cancer,
Come
man.
on.
Yeah. Elaine's cool. Yeah. I like her. You know what's crazy, too? Elaine's really sweet, and I'll tell you why. Just like John. They're very caring, and so Elaine wanted to do an interview, and so she called me. I told her, I was like, you know what? I'm having some family issues or some things going on. So she called my cell phone, and I answered it. And I said, what's going on? And I said, I'm sorry. And she said, well, what's going on? I said, well, my daughter's having a meltdown. And so we talked for almost a full hour about what I should be doing differently with her diet. And she was asking like caring questions about my daughter and my family. And I'm like, wait. And so I put her on mute, and I talked to my fiance. I said, she's an author and an actor and a director, and look how she's talking to me like I'm one of her friends. That's so nice, It made me cry. She's such a nice lady, man, for real.
I actually interviewed Elaine, but I wanted to put you on the spot there to see what you were going to say. Okay? I love Elaine. And so you passed the test. You absolutely passed the test. I had someone one time on air, and I said, you interviewed so-and-so, you have to hook me up. And they're like, well, I said, okay, you didn't pass the test.
Yeah, I was going to try to steal from you because I was told that you interviewed a voiceover talent, like recently, I think. But maybe, I don't know, a month ago maybe?
Okay, I've interviewed a few of them, but who...
Oh, I forgot his name.
Okay.
I forgot his name.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot his name. I want to get Brad Zephyr, maybe?
Brad Zephyr he's incredible. He's a singer. He does some voiceovers. That's who it is then. Okay.
Yeah.
Text me, Brad Zephyr. I'll hook you up with him.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So, I have one other person I'm trying to get. I wonder if you know. You remember that song, Ooh, Child, from the 5 Stair Steps out of Chicago?
Yeah. Okay,
so I think only one is left, and that's Burke. I have to look up his first name. Okay.
Ooh, child, things will get that one, of course.
Yeah, I'm trying. He's on Instagram. I know for sure. Something Burke, Burke. Last name. I gotta look.
All right.
I should just look right now.
All right. You look, and now let me know something else. So,
okay.
All right. Growing up, you're in school. You love the music. You know what you think you want to do with life. What was that first? What did you think you were going to end up doing before this?
I'm going to tell you God honest truth. Senior year. Okay, so my grandparents, I got in some trouble when I was in 6th grade. And my grandparents came to court because I punched a kid for calling my brother fat. Anyway, so
did I.
Really?
I'll have a story as soon as you're done. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I walked over to his house and knocked on his door, and his mom got him, and I punched him in the face, and I got arrested. So anyway, so my grandparents came to court, and I was like, "What are you guys doing here?" They're like, "Do you want to come live with us, or do you want to go to a foster family?" And of course, me being a cool, 12-year-old or whatever, I was like, cool, a 12-year-old or whatever, I was like, I want to go to the foster family. Oh, so anyway, I don't know what happened. Getting a reverb?
Yep. Doc G?
I'm getting reverb.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Geoff? All right. You can hear me fine?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell you my little story real quick until we fix you. So my brother was obese growing up. Okay, and my brother was obese growing up.
Okay.
I grew up in Long Island City, New York, and I was this tiny little thing. He came home crying because his brother and sister made fun of him really bad again. And my father got really angry, and he's like, "You're bigger than everybody, Stand up for yourself." So the next day I'm in my little Catholic uniform, and I had a plan, and I ran ahead of my mom and my brother around the block, and I stood up on the little awning, the railing, and I'm holding on to the awning, and I said, "All right, God, I'm going to die today, but I don't care. I'm going to get one good shot in." She was big. She was really tall. She comes out. I punch her right in the face. She jumps on me, rips my uniform, makes me bleed. My mother comes running around the corner. She runs off of me. We ended up in court, and I got a juvenile delinquent card at 12. I was 10 years old. I got a juvenile delinquent card for beating up bullies. And I called Long Island City Police Department recently and said, "I want a copy of it. I wish I still had it. It's a trophy." They said they're going to try and get it for me because it was a trophy for why I got it. So, Doc
That's
G,
funny.
I can't really hear him too well. No, he didn't. Okay. I know you didn't, but I'm saying, can you try and fix this? Geoff, talk. Do you see?
Okay. It's got a delayed. I don't know what's going on.
All right, talk. At least talk now. Finish talking because at least I could hear you. So talk, even though you're delayed.
Okay. Okay. So what happened was, I was always with my grandparents, and they were always driving, and they would play anything from new rock, or it would be Chicago Cubs.
Geoff, take your
And I was
wait,
like,
Geoff, take your
"Oh, man,
speakers.
I'm-
Wait, Geoff, unhook your headphones. Unhook them. Let's see what happens here. Guys, we're having some technical difficulty. It might be just a headphone situation.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, there's still a reverb, right?
Yeah, but at least I turn him down a little bit, Dr. But at least we could hear you. All right, talk. Let's see what happens here, guys. We're sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn off my stuff.
Okay. All right. Now
There you go.
talk. All right. Now talk.
Oh, I turned off my board, but
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Talk, Geoff.
Okay. Yeah, so that's basically what happened. I just ended up getting really into radio and wanted to know how to do that for my living.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. Well, at least we had about a half an hour together. I mean, I'm sorry about the technical difficulty, guys, but I still want you to talk a little more, Geoff, because maybe it'll be okay. Tell everybody out there about what you're doing, how to get in touch with you if they want an interview. Let's do that. Give them your information.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So I'm on Instagram, Ketchup Carter. I'm the ketchup bottle, you'll see. Also on YouTube. But our email is Catching up with Carter at gmail.com. Yeah, so go ahead and just put in their podcast interview idea in the title or something, and I'll get back to you. Any topic.
Catching up with Carter at gmail.com. And it's Catchin. It's not catching, right? It's Catchin.
Yep, no G.
No G, guys. Catching up with Carter at gmail.com. Okay, so Carter, I want to thank you. This was fun. I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties, but at least we finally got to have a little bit of time.
Okay.
And you're going to be interviewing me as well, and we'll have more time, and we'll talk about both of us again. Okay, even during that interview. All right.
Absolutely.
So I want to.
Absolutely.
I want
Take
to.
care. We'll talk.
Stay. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet, because I want to close, Doc G, without the song. I want to read a poem. Okay. We'll close it with my poem, Doc G. Okay? So, Carter, I want everybody out there to realize that everyone has something to offer. Okay? Everybody, will message me and say things like, oh, I loved your show. I wish I could sing like that person. Oh, I wish I could write poetry like you do. I wish I could do that. I wish I could draw. But everybody has something to offer. And just like you, Carter, you talk a lot, right? Well, look what you're doing. This is going to be amazing for you. Okay? And I want everybody out there to know that, guess what? You all have something to offer. So this poem that I wrote is called Utilizing Gifts and Talents, okay? So I'm going to read this to you, so really listen to the words, guys. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Geoff Carter, will live forever, baby, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. Geoff, you're making people smile, trust me. You have an incredible personality. You like to talk. You're into radio now. You're going to do so well. And I just can't wait to see what else you have coming, and I can't wait for our next interview.
Yeah, next month.
Yes. So I want to tell everyone, thank you so much for listening, and please share this video. Take care.